Hello everybody, this is Zerda with Zerda MTG here with another arena testing video. So today, I've decided to, instead of playing a good deck with a decent mana base, play an absolutely atrocious deck with a mana base to match. That's right, we're playing Nexus of Gates. So, why would we want to play Nexus of Gates, you ask? Mostly for Gates Ablaze, if I'm going to be completely honest. Gates Ablaze and the sideboard that lets you transition into I just have bigger creatures than you, which can be pretty useful in more controlling matchups, or matchups that might plan to, counter our Nexus, God forbid. So, here's what our plan is. Ramp up early, drop a Tamiyo, start digging for Nexus, sweep anything up along the way, and have an absurd card advantage engine in Guild Summit. Making your lands draw cards for you is pretty good. We have one copy of Shark Typhoon, one main deck Archway Angel, the last one in the board, kind of just to help shore up our life total in any matchup where we drop low early, and we're not confident that the Deafening Clarions and Gates Ablazes will catch us back up. And what we're looking to do is set up an end state where we go over the top of absolutely everybody because, hey, we have a Nexus of Fate and a infinite attacking Uro, or, hard cast a Shark Typhoon. Even if we've already cycled it, we can Tamiyo it back. Put it into play, start casting Nexus of Fate, draw Nexus of Fate, cast Nexus of Fate, infinite 7/7s. So, that's one really good end state to end on. We have the lovely little synergy package that involves Tamiyo milling over a bunch of cards to to feed the Uro, as well as looking for Uro even when you name something else. Basically, if you want an Uro, you never need to name an Uro. And digs for Nexus of Fate, helps recur your sweepers if you need to, or other copies of Tamiyo if you want your opponent to keep attacking it instead of you. And then if they don't, you can start digging. You also have once again, Archway Angel can just gain absurd amounts of life. 8 life is kind of on the low end of what you'd be expecting. That only takes 4 Guild Gates in play. And with Circuitous Root and Ramp, and it being a 6-drop, you can generally expect to gain somewhere in the range of 10 to 12, which even in fair matchups can buy you a significant amount of time to start letting your powerful cards dig you out of it. This is, I believe, a 28 land deck. Let me make sure. Yep. So we should hit our land drops even though we're playing more of them. A turn, then one. From our hand, so this Growth Spiral isn't quite a rampant growth all the time. It does take your land drop from hand, and same with Uro. And we do actually want to hit 7 mana, because I opted to not play the, Wilderness Reclamation, as I felt we didn't really need it with our ramp package. The only deck that might give us a little bit of trouble by trying to go over the top instead of under us, which we have a pretty good sideboard plan for, I think, is the Field of the Dead deck. But we can still go over the top of them as long as we get our engine going, and we do have the negates to fight off their negates. Other than that, we generally try to sidestep our opponent's plan by bringing in 4 Gatebreaker Ram and 4 Gate Colossus. Kind of dodges negate, is recursive and huge. They have to deal with each individual one, or they are game-ending threats in their own right, and we get to board out some of the cards that aren't as good in those matchups. So against more controlling decks, we get to board out a few copies of Nexus. I never board down lower than 2, drop the Archway Angel, and trim on our sweepers. And against the more aggressive decks, we get to, once again, trim on Nexus, bring in Deafening Clarion, an extra Archway Angel, and either Gatebreaker Ram or Gate Colossus, depending on how we feel. Now, I think this is actually better than the Blue-Green Nexus deck for my testing, as Blue-Green Nexus had a lot of problem with Teferi plus aggression. So, here I'm hoping to kind of sidestep the aggression and just go over my opponent. And let's skip all of that and get right into the gameplay. And let's not do what made me... There we go. What's the other gate deck I have up there? I haven't played any of the other ones anywhere near recently. Oh well. Ho-ho. Alright, so I like this. We have a turn 3 Uro. All we need to do is find a red source, even if it's tapped, and we'll have a decent Gates Ablaze. And if we find a white source, we have Deafening Clarion. So, hello opponent, and I am sorry. Oh, there we go. Do. Do. I imagine they take the Uro here, and then become highly concerned about the fact that there are guild gates and a Nexus of Fate. Because if I'm seeing discard, I'm assuming they're going to be a little bit more controlly. They might take Nexus just to slow down when we can start taking extra turns. Goodbye, Uro. Ho ho, hostage taker, eh? Nice. I think I'm gonna... No. I'm not sure what I want to do here. Because I like playing the Stomping Grounds and the Simic Guild Gate. Just in case I draw Tamiyo, I'm gonna deploy the Guild Gate first and just accept that I might not draw the extra card off of my Guild Summit if I want to be as efficient as possible with it. Well, there goes the Guild Summit. No need to worry about that now. Pretty sure that was an easy discard for him. Do I want my opponent to draw a card whenever they draw a land? No. Well, don't give us Guild Summit. I do like concealing information, but I also like having my mana available to me when I need it. And so the gate is deployed. Gate deployed. Atris, no fear. Let's see. If I give them this face up, which is honestly the only card I don't want them to have. Because there's no way they take those two. I'm gonna play mind games with them. Because they'll think there's a Teferi in the face down pile, and I wouldn't take the face up pile in that situation myself. Yep, mind games. Haha. You fool! You did what I wanted. Ah, for shame. Wait, never mind. I was thinking I wouldn't be able to cast it this turn. Alright, so let's grab a white source, I suppose. White-red. Green-white. Let's grab 2. Just get them onto the field. Turn on our Deafening Clarions and such. So, alright, that's just the life we gained. It's also nice to have a untapped life gain tri-land in, well, I guess, quad land right now. Mind games. Ho-ho! Keep giving him the worst card. That's what I'm in for. I'm also in for, let's see, is that 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Indeed it is. Goodbye, Yori. Oh, it was 6. Nice. Can't wait till we can finally deploy our Uro. Draw ourselves any number of cards. Uh-oh. Scary Teferi.
You know what? I'm not done.
Teferi 3 we can mostly ignore. Teferi 5 is a threat that demands an answer as soon as you have the ability to present one. Okay. So let's lead on a way to start drawing cards once we get all of this done. Deploy Guild Summit. 1, 2, 3, 4. I would like to draw 6 cards, please. Discard? Huh. Why, I never. And let's deploy a Gruul Guildgate to draw just a few more cards. I'll suppose I don't need the Stomping Grounds. I also don't need the Deafening Clarion, but that is entirely besides the point now, isn't it? Oh. So do they have counter magic? I'd assumed if they did, they would have... Ah, I see. I'd assumed they would have just answered the guild gate, but no need to when you could, you know, just, exile it. Alright. I want as much mana as possible for this. So, thus goeth the nexus, thus goeth the Tamio. Diggeth for said nexus. And we might have it here. No worries. Name nexus again.
Let me aid your research.
Oof, I wish I'd waited. Now that I'm thinking of it, I could have, where does it say? There we go. I could have thinned our deck by a considerable margin first. Instead, for shame, I did not. We'll deploy. Tap. 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 Guild Summit. And I'll tap 1, so that if our top card is a Nexus, we would have then been able to still cast it this turn. Alright, so now, I suppose all I really need to do is deploy, or is draw as many cards as I possibly can. There we go. I imagine we're getting something tucked here. I have no earthly idea what.
Hurry!
We won't just run the Uro out unless we have the Nexus. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we could gain 22 off our Archway Angel, but our opponent plans to ult it to Fairy, which is kind of gross, honestly. Miss playing with that card, too. Maybe I'll play a Teferi deck in the future. Did he plus the Teferi? Huh. Alright, so I'm definitely assuming counter magic. Makes me wish that we had some of our own in the main, but I'm not too worried about that right now. Ah, I see.
I question this outcome.
Alright. So, lead on a Deafening Clarion. Both modes. No reason for both modes, obviously, but
Every
alas.
story is an opportunity for new data. I think you
Grab
will find my
Nexus.
notes helpful.
Shall we? Huh. Well, that couldn't have gone worse. By much. Okay. And Hostage Taker is only Creature or artifact. Okay. Drop an arrow. It'll die anyway. We'll gain some life. Draw a card. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is enough to deploy a Shark Typhoon. It's enough to cycle as well. And I think that's where I'd rather be right now, is cycling my Shark Typhoon. So they'll get back something, their deputy. We still got our dig though, so I don't much mind. Gets a counter, we get to Gates of Blaze it. And we're basically at the stage of the game where not hitting a Nexus of Fate is going to be very, very unlikely. We only have 14 cards left, and we know 4 of them are Nexus. Deputy. Oh. Bold. I think we're beyond the mind games now. Are we? Yeah, we're beyond the mind games. I don't think, yeah, I was thinking about it. I didn't think it was likely they took the lands here because they really don't need them anymore.
Hold that thought.
But so be it. Nope, Time Raveler is fine.
This isn't a fight.
Trying to protect your key play. Cannot bounce that. Can, however, bounce Guild Summit. Which I have no real qualms with, I suppose. At some point I want to try and build a budget Pioneer Unburial Rights deck. Just not entirely sure how I'm gonna go about it. That is fine by me.
My research has been
Note, cannot
compromised.
Heartless Act a shark token. It has counters on it. Ooh, it's not counters? I thought it made a 0/0. Ho ho. We might actually be in danger. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. Huzzah! 13, 12. And remember, we're getting our Tameo back. I'm concerned I haven't seen a single counter spell yet, though. Maybe they're just not playing Absorb anymore. Nope, that was as expected. Only one blew up. Well, time to go to town. It resolves.
You would make an excellent informant for
One.
my study.
Yeah, let's go grab another Nexus of Fate. We really need to just make sure that we're hitting them for now.
Somewhere.
And now we have 2 turns floating. Or 1 turn after this. Let's just end this as quickly as humanly possible. We will grab our Shark Typhoon.
I have learned
Cast
much
Shark
from my
Typhoon.
ancestors.
Cast Nexus. GG's. We will continue to take the turns and make the sharks. Alright. So I'm imagining this is what we're going to want to do. I'm imagining they're going to bring in counter spells, so we're going to want to swerve. We'll still keep in the gates ablaze. They had a decent amount of creatures. So I'm at 65. I can trim a white source. Trim a Tameo. Suppose... Yeah, I do want to keep some number of gates ablaze, though. And Tameo is also pretty good with Gate Colossus, so I don't want to trim too much there. I'm going to assume I'll face some amount of graveyard hate, and the life gain isn't great. We only really need to get 1 Uro ever. I don't want to get rid of the Shark Typhoon in a matchup where it's good, so I'll trim on a Circuitous Route. And we will try it like that. Yeah, them being heavy on creatures really made this difficult here. Suppose I should pay a little bit more attention to the metagame, instead of just having a simple, straightforward plan. I like this. Gate, plaza, ram, gate. And then we get to hold up negate. At some point, I kind of want to make a Gate Field of the Dead Nexus deck, but not entirely sure how that works out. And I do think I will deploy the turn 3 Plaza of Harmony. No reason to hold on to it, it is the best land in my deck. Just gaining 3 life and tapping for colors. I suppose it's the best as long as I've already got other lands in play. It's like a reverse shock land that sometimes taps for more colors. Ah, for shame. I'm assuming, yep, there goes the ram. Hopefully, to me, that means that they don't have any kind of a way to deal with those in the future. And I can recur them with Tameos. Growth Spiral out the next gate. So here, alright, so I'm not sure. I think I'm gonna wait on the Tameo. It is somewhat risky, but I'd rather hold up negate for any of their potential 5 mana plays. I can negate any discard they try and play this turn, and I'd rather hold up negate and play Tameo in the same turn to avoid the embarrassment of play Tameo get negated. Play Tameo. Ho-ho, does Tameo resolve? Can't imagine. Nice.
I am Tamio. It is an honor to meet you.
And what do I even want to find here? I guess I kind of want to find another Tameo. Mostly I just want a Gatebreaker Ram. I'll name Tameo with Tameo.
Seek and find.
Alright, no Uro, sadly. So I think I'll downtick, grab Gatebreaker. Or I could grab the, let's see, go 1, 2, 3, draw 3. Yeah, I think I'd rather grab the Guild Summit. Oh, Teferi. I guess we're gonna get tucked.
I can no longer stand by and let's take it back.
For shame. That was the downside.
We need to move quickly.
They're keeping up 4 mana this turn as well. And resetting their Teferi in their end step. Uh-oh, I think I only have 4
Right
gates.
on
I can't Gates Ablaze that Yorion. Out of forest. Pass the turn. This might end up getting us tucked again, at which point we get to play Tamio. And Gates
No time
Ablaze.
for a break.
Or Tamio just dig for the Gatebreaker that we know will be on top. No need to worry there. They did draw. Concerning. Lead on an attack. At Teferi. Ho-ho! Okay. That's actually a problem. Unless, of course... Tamio. And does Tamio resolve? I will auto pay. No. Yes, I will auto pay. I realize that puts me in a risky spot, but I'm fairly certain it's worth it. And I will name Tamio with
Let's
Tamio.
test a new hypothesis. To the library.
Make absolutely sure I counted right. Yes. Enter stabbed. Was kinda hoping to hit an arrow,
Keep
but
up the
alas.
pace.
No fear.
All stories must end.
Could really use some more gates, ironically. I will Tamio plus again. I'm really just looking for Uro. Oof. If I give them Commence, I can't imagine... they would know there's nothing in their deck. So if they take the Commence, I'm actually in trouble. I'm in trouble either way on this one, actually. Because now I lose the Tamio. And I was very heavily relying on that Tamio. Oh. Alright. So, goodbye, Tamio. I was also hoping to be able to sweep That's fine. Tameo circuitous route? So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that would bring it down to 2 mana, and I wouldn't have enough. For shame. I guess I still play Tameo, though.
Let us see if your
And I'd
talents are
start
worth
looking
tapping
for
on.
my nexus.
Let me aid your research.
Is there anything I could play this turn that helps? I don't believe so. So yeah, find nexus. Pretty sure I'm just out of the game at this point, though. But at least now I know how I'm going to board.
Hold that thought.
My opponent can put me to 1, and I'm kinda hoping they do. Oh, was hoping not to go to 0. Alright. And let's see. So, against them, and let's see. I'm not gonna want my full-on package there. Let's see. I don't want those. Do I want anything else? No. I think I'll try it like that. Just the Rams in case, and try and go full-on Nexus. I think if I'm gonna go full-on Nexus, I want the 4th Tameo, especially on the play. I want the 4th Uro. And I'll just run it in a game 1 configuration, except with negates, as opposed to a Arcway Angel and Deafening Clarion. And I guess with 1 less circuitous route. Yeah, I think I like this. Just doing 1 quick look over and done. After this, I'll play some mono white, try and get my rank up a little bit higher there. Then I'll be good for the videos today. And yes, I would very much like to play first. I'd rather keep a hand with green and... Oh, deck, why? Alright, at least they also mold. I can't... Alright, this one's great. I bin the Stomping Ground and the Uro, I believe. And as long as I hit another land, then I start to pull very far ahead. And so I definitely bin the Stomping Ground. Actually, do I bin the Circuitous Route? I think I might. It does draw me a bunch of cards and pull me ahead with Guild Summit, but I'm thinking about their discard. No, I think once you mold a 5, you just plan on having things go right. So, lead on the Guild Gate. There's a chance they don't have the turn 2 discard anyway. They only have 4. It doesn't look like they've... For shame. They've got the other alternative options. I will Growth Spiral. Alright, excellent. I don't mind if they counter this. In fact, I really wish they would, because I think they're holding up Mystical Dispute. Excellent. You fool. Now I get to resolve the card I care about. And if I draw a land and they don't have the counter magic... Ah, for shame. And our negates are done.
Responsibility. That's more like it.
Guild Gate? Nope. Guild Summit. Deployed. Suppose that's a reason I shouldn't have tried to lean on the negates. I was hoping that I would just be able to dodge the Teferi or
I've
catch it,
done the hero thing
but
before.
this was not a hand where that was even remotely feasible. Goodbye, Uro. I guess they might want to take a circuitous route, just because if I ever do draw that land, it does create problems, but Uro is the best play this turn. Alright. Time walked me. A nuisance, if nothing else.
I'll protect you.
Oh, if they tuck the guild summit, we lose.
No time.
Okay.
I know my
They didn't.
responsibility.
Excellent. Untap land here, please. It's basically our only shot. Let's grab Guildgate. Guildgate. Draw 2.
You know what? I'm not done yet.
We are officially in a race with their big Teferi.
Might be a bad idea.
Goodbye, Guild Summit. Hello, Tamio. Ho ho. Might be by Gates Ablaze. Because Gates Ablaze does draw us a bunch of cards by giving us the Guild Summit. I don't think our opponent was banking on us having a sweeper still. Goodbye, circuitous route, it appears, after all. Did they bin anything? Hold up, what did we draw for turn? It was the Gates Ablaze. Let's see, gate. Oh, wait. Gate, gate, gate. Alright, we got at least 3. And let's, oh, it would kill me to decline this. I'm gonna draw 3. I think I like that more than putting down the Tamio, who might not draw us anything. And can be answered. Just get as many cards out of the way as we possibly can, as quickly as we can.
Let's skip to the good part.
So I think next turn we can Tamio plus Uro. Tamio will name Nexus of Fate. And we're getting dangerously, dangerously close to a Teferi ult. I do not wish to relive those days. Though I suppose in those days it was more commonly followed up by an expansion explosion for just enough to make you hate life. Tamio. Name Nexus.
You'll find my notes helpful.
For shame, for shame. Not be needing more than one of any copy of a card, so that first. I'm not gonna name or start recurring guild gates. Won't need negate. There we go. Deploy guild gate. And this is the critical turn. It's unfortunate that we have the critical turn under the Elspeth tax. But alas, that is where we are. Opponent maybe drew some discard and is considering what they want to do here. Oh, we dodged a bullet there. Doesn't mean that we're in a good position, it just means that things could have been ever so much worse. They might bounce their Elspeth with their small Teferi. No? Oh, are they gonna double Oath of Kaya? Okay. I'm fine with this. I was worried about Earl getting exiled, but he's just going back to the grave. Maybe we hit another? Not sure. On the one hand, I would like to get more lands. On the other hand, I kind of want to draw the Tamiyo still. So Growth Spiral it is. Don't think I want to do both. I also think they're likely to have a counterspell though, so we'll see.
Don't worry, I got this. Keep up the pace.
I do just want to guarantee that I at least draw the Tamiyo. It's a real shame that Teferi exists, not so much as I hate playing against it, as much as I think this would be a really interesting matchup without it, with the counter magic from both sides. I'm just not a big fan of, like, blunt hammers in matchups. I know Nexus of Fate kind of is, but at least, you know, it happens and then you get two. It's a combo, it's not exactly the same. Alright, so let's see. I will look for Nexus.
I know I noted this somewhere.
Nice. So, I think there's a pretty good chance they have Mystical Dispute. Let's see what's in their yard. 2 Thought Erasures. I'd rather Gates Ablaze here. And be able to pay for anything. On the important cards. Omen of the Sea is fine. Then I'll Circuitous Route. And next turn I will have my, actually, I think the